So the first thing you're going to notice when you pop into Sunhaven 0.5, in the top left-hand corner, you can see the chicken and cow indicator. So this is how many animals you can actually have in your farm at a single time. Also, when we take a step outside, you also notice that there's one for the fishing traps as well. Another thing you may notice is that your health and mana will be different as soon as you come into the game. If you hit K to go to the skill tree, you'll see that it is completely different now. And each of the previous levels that you would get during the game seem to be broken down into 5 levels at a time. So for each category, instead of picking a single skill, you're getting 5 skill points, and each of the categories typically have 3 skill points as the maximum you can put into them. One of the obvious ones, air skip, you can see now that even when you put 3 ranks into it, it has a cost of 3 mana. It used to cost 2 mana, so that's a bit of a nerf there, but understandable because you can spam that all day otherwise. For the exploration category, they have kind of a community-focused category down here where you can get extra community tokens when you complete a quest. You can get maximum mana when you complete some of your bulletin quests. And then there's this weird thing called pen pals, which you get letters in the mail, and I checked one of them and it didn't really seem to do anything, so I don't understand why this is a actual perk you have to pick up. Maybe they send you some rewards in the mail, I don't know. Another little weird quirk of the new skill tree stuff, there are actually recipes and buildable structures that you can only get by leveling up now. So as you can see here, Adventurer's Cookbook, there are recipes that you have to have this skill for. And if I jump over to farming, then you'll see with this new friends perk that it unlocks the ability to purchase sheep and pigs. So without that, you can't get sheep or pigs. And then in the tier 1, there's a jam maker. So you literally have to get this perk if you want to be able to craft jam. Then if we look a little further, beekeeper box, kind of the same thing. So over in mining, one of my favorite ones to get before was the savings trait. And I think it gives you the same amount of gold per day if you get it to rank 3, which is 120 just for sitting around and going to bed that day. But now you have to go way further to the end to get Smart Investor. You get a percentage of your total gold as bonus gold each night. So another thing that I noticed, since I'm kind of trying to play more of a mage-focused character, is that it seems like the damage on the basic fireball spell was knocked down a lot. Of course, these spells can have their damage increased if you get other perks like intellect to increase their spell damage, and I imagine there's gear that can do that as well. So I don't know if you get really far in the game if fireball's going to do more or less damage, but currently it definitely does less damage for me. And then another weird thing, this vacuumless spell, which I can just show right now. It's good for mining. Oh, whoops. This one. It's good for mining things because it has this AoE effect, but it's really weird with the ranking system of it. If you upgrade it from rank 1 to rank 2 or rank 3, you pay more mana, just a little bit more damage. So I'm not actually sure if rank 3 is better than rank 1. You pay less than a 1-to-1 ratio at the rank 1 to do the 12 damage, but then it's 1-to-1 ratio at rank 3. So is it actually better at rank 1 and then you just keep spamming it? I don't know. And then lastly, over on the fishing tab, you can see that this is the only category of skills that only have 3 options per leveling up. And you might also be wondering, since your levels get converted into the new system, this would have been level 4 before, I believe, but now I'm level 20. Well, that also is reflected in the monsters. So let's go over to the sand area. Okay, and you can see that all of the monster levels have been updated as well. I don't think that they're actually, in a sense, stronger because you do level up a lot faster. So their levels have been increased in the sense more that they've been updated to the new system. So level 2 or 3 is now the new level 8 or 9. So really not a lot has changed there. One of the reasons why they would decrease the fireball damage is because it only costs 1 mana to cast now. So I guess just kind of rebalancing everything. And as you can see, I leveled up really easily there. So I just hit level 10. Let's see if there's anything good to put in here. So I think having double shot might be good to have kind of a backup. Sometimes you do just run out of mana. So let's see, does that actually fire too? Nice. Okay. That actually seems really good. The fact you can double up on how many shots you fire with just one perk is actually kind of insane, if you think about it. Also with this quest window over here, I think they did a minor redesign of the UI because it seems to waste the screen space a lot less I don't know if you were able to really scroll like this before, but it's a lot more readable, definitely, because as you can see, I just keep all of the quests at once, and if I'm not turning them in, then it just kind of becomes sort of overwhelming. And once again, as I mentioned, whenever you go to the town board and you pick up a quest, you can see that community tokens are a part of the reward. And there we go, easy. Let's get some exploration XP. Another thing I've noticed is that when you're consuming food, like milk, which would give you extra mana, and you drink it, okay, so you get your increase, but you can also see in the bottom left the amount of mana you got and the number you've already eaten so far. And there's probably a cap with each item. I haven't gotten to that point yet. So let's quickly go to the town hall, just take a look at some of those community rewards. So this is the guy you turn them in at. What services do you provide? What are you selling? You can see you can buy diamonds, love letters, elixirs which will boost your stats, and there's also elixirs which will give you skill points. I don't know if those are in addition to your base levels, so using all of these, would you be able to get all of the skills eventually if you just farm enough of these community tokens? And there's a bunch of extra stuff which it's really hard for me to say what those actually do. I think it would take some experimentation, but there's quite a bit of other stuff here as well. And so that's what the community tokens are all about. Another one of the perks which kind of got nerfed here is this industrial one. Crafting any item grants you 4, 6, or 8 bonus gold depending on the level. Before it would be 10. I can understand that though, because it's really easy to spam a lot of crafting. And it's not really such a big deal because you get 5 skill points to spend on your perks for every 5 levels you go up, which is, as far as I can tell, the equivalent of 1 level before. So all in all, it's a pretty interesting overhaul on the perk system. There is a lot here, and I'm sure there's so much more content in 0.5 that I have not gotten around to checking out yet.